One more thing. Cooper Flagg's dunk was a big moment for the Dallas Mavericks and for Cooper Flagg and for Mavericks fans in the grieving process. I'll tell you why. Today's Locked On Mavs. One more thing.
I'm here because I have to do it.
Dallas is going to get a seat at the table.
That's it. It's me versus the machine.
Nice penetrating thrust to the middle.
People forget about fans.
Hot man, the hot player.
Wait. One more thing.
Fired up.
Yeah, welcome. You're still locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for making Locked On Mavs your first listen today. If you didn't listen to the post-game episode, go listen to that one. Me and Slightly had a lot of fun. And at the end of it, we went a little nuts. We were talking about conspiracy theories. We were talking about Labubus. We were talking about Dubai chocolate. I mean, just every trend, I guess, on TikTok we were talking about. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Tell them the Game Time app, create an account, use that code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Today, I want to talk about Cooper Flagg's dunk. I also want to talk about Max Christie. I want to talk about Caleb Martin. I want to talk about some of the things we didn't get to in the post-game show because there's a lot of things that happened in this Mavs win against the Raptors. But let's talk about this Cooper Flagg dunk because it's this poster dunk that's going to be seen everywhere. It's going to be the one that's shared on every single platform. All the platforms are shared, Bleacher Report, ESPN, all of them. Every single account is going to share this Cooper Flagg dunk. And it happened. Lively gets a rebound. He throws it. He outlets it to D'Angelo Russell, who's in the middle of the floor. And D'Angelo Russell was a big catalyst in the reason why this Mavericks game went so different than the first two Mavericks games because he actually made some plays, dribbled the ball, was a threat in the open court, and all that. We broke all that down in the postgame show. But D'Angelo Russell kicks it forward because he's always looking up. He gets the ball, and I saw this. I made a note that he always is looking up when he gets the ball, which I think is such a small thing, a thing that they teach you in like those like elementary school basketball camps that we all used to go to. But he was looking. He had his head up while he was dribbling. He saw Cooper Flagg, kicked it ahead to Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg runs up, tomahawk dunks it on Sandro Mamakashvili. I did not pronounce that as well as Mark Followill would. But then the crowd popped. And it was the loudest I've heard this American Airlines crowd since the season has started. And there has not been a lot to cheer for so far in the season after the first two games. The Mavs did get a win, and the Mavs fans did cheer like it was a playoff win after this game when they got this win. But the pop when Cooper Flagg got that dunk was so notable to me that I want to talk about it. Because I think that there is this thing with Cooper Flagg that I have not seen Mavericks fans fully embrace him yet. You listening may have not fully embraced Cooper Flagg yet. I still get comments all the time, people that come up and talk to me and are saying, yeah, like, is he really that good? Like, is he really worth all the hype? Is he really, we just lost Luka, and like, I don't know. You're basically trying to decide if he can replace your ex, right? You're trying to decide if he can replace what you lost. Like, you lost something very important to you. Cooper Flagg is like the new puppy you get after your dog leaves or passes away, or I don't know. I guess Luka is not a dog that passed away, but it's a thing. Like, Mavs fans are grieving. You are probably still in the grieving process. So many Mavs fans that have talked to me are still in that process of like, I can't give it up. There's a Mavs fan that came up to me today. I had a Luka Lakers 77 jersey on. He's still in the grieving process. And they still haven't fully accepted Cooper Flagg. Like, when Cooper Flagg gets introduced in the starting lineup, there has not been the big pop that you'd expect from the number one overall pick, that generational type talent that 10 other franchises were dying to get and were tanking so hard to get. This Raptors team was taking their Raptors off in order to get Cooper Flagg last year. They were doing creative, like, tanking things we have never seen before, where they would play like Scotty Barnes and they would play RJ Barrett for like the first 10 minutes of the game and they would sit them the rest of the game because they were tanking to try and get this guy Cooper Flagg. Teams were desperate for him, and the Mavericks got him handed to them because maybe some things happened. But 1.8% chance. And it kind of happened so fast that it feels like Mavericks fans have not fully embraced what Cooper Flagg is and what he can be for this team, what the level of talent that he is. He is coming in as a talent that is more highly regarded than what Luka was. Maybe not to you, and obviously now we know that he's a franchise changer and one of the top 5 players in the NBA and a guy that can get you to an NBA Finals. Like, obviously we know that all that is confirmed. Like, everything that you thought Luka could be was confirmed. But Flagg is more highly regarded than Luka was coming in. No teams were gonna like pass on Luka for a DeAndre Ayton or a Trae Young, you know, or a Marvin Bagley. That was not going to happen with Cooper Flagg. And he is that level of talent, and I just have not heard the like completely full embrace. There has been the flag chant in the national anthem, which I think is really cool. Although many respondents on Twitter did not think it was cool, said it was cringe, said it was stupid. I don't know. I think it's cool to try to embrace a guy. It's during the national anthem. Maybe say it's like, you know, not politically correct or whatever. I don't care. I think it's fine. Chant flag. Gave proof through the night that our flag. Like, I think that is fun. And they've embraced him in that way. But during the game, mid-game, he gets introduced into in-game introductions. He checks back into the game. When Paige Beckers was checking into games for the Dallas Wings, I went to every single one of her home games. When she was checking in, there was an audible cheer from the crowd because she has just represented such a hope that fan base had just nothing. They had nothing to hope for. And Paige Beckers saved everything, saved that franchise from just the bottomless despair of nothing they were headed towards. And Cooper Flagg basically did that for this Mavericks team, but I have not really heard that from the fans. And maybe I'm reading too much into fan reaction, but I don't think I am because of the reaction to this dunk. After their reaction to the dunk, when Flagg checked in, right after that, he checks out after that whole sequence and all that, he checks back into the game, minutes later. There was an audible coo from the crowd, and it started to grow, and it was this collective moment where he was being embraced as the star, as the future, as the hope, as the all right, I can see where this guy is the one that's going to give me hope as a Mavericks fan to move forward, to finally embrace what this next chapter could be, this next era, because that's what we've entered into. We've entered into a brand new era of Dallas Mavericks basketball. You're starting over. Imagine going back to 2018 again with Luka. You're starting from that point again right now with Cooper Flagg, because that's the era. There's going to be weird parts of this era because it starts with this Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving section, Nico Harrison section of it. But then maybe in 2 or 3 years, it's going to be completely different. But I just thought that it was notable that Mavs fans fully embraced him in that moment, saw what he could be, and he finished with 22 points in this game. He continues to level up every single game. He's looked pretty good, and he's 18. He's 18 doing all these things. He looks incredible for an 18-year-old. He looks pretty good for the number 1 overall pick that he's supposed to be. But Mavericks fans, I finally heard embrace them, and I thought that was notable that happened in this game. Coming up, let's talk about Max Christie. I think he's making a statement to start the season, and I want to get into it and why I think that he has a chance to eventually make the starting lineup like I thought coming into the season. Coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Monarch. Let's be honest, most of us can't name every single different kind of financial account that you use. You've got so many different things. 401k, savings account, investments. It's easy to lose track on all the different things, maybe student loans or savings accounts, credit cards, all these different things all at once. And you're I forgot to check this week, or I forgot to check this, or I forgot to check this account. Oh, maybe my savings account has more money than I really think it is. It doesn't, all that stuff. That's why I started using Monarch. I've actually used this all-in-one personal finance tool that brings all your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or phone. It's really quick to connect all your accounts. I was surprised how fast it was. And then you can review everything. You've got this thing where you can share your goals and share you can connect the account with a partner as well, so you can see different things back and forth. So you guys can talk about different shared goals, financial decisions, and all that kind of stuff. See where you are. I love that you can separate your savings account into different goals. So you can keep it all in one high yield savings account, but you can still separate it out. I love that. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA at monarch.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarch.com, code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. Also, brought to you by Game Time. Sports Equinox right now. We've got all the sports happening at once. If you want tickets to Stars, Dallas Mavericks, Dallas Cowboys still, if that's something that you are interested in. They're probably going to go down after this. Or if you're looking at college football, I'm looking at some SMU games coming up that I'm definitely looking at. And on Game Time, I was surprised how easy it was to get those tickets. That's where Game Time comes in. The app gives fans the advantage. It's your ultimate life hack for scoring amazing NBA tickets, all kinds of other tickets. Fast, easy, stress-free. It's not just sports. It's all kinds of different things. Comedy, concerts, theater, all that stuff. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA. You get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
It's the One More Thing bonus episode of Locked On Mavs. If you missed the post-game episode, go check that out. Check the QR code. Links in the description for different ways to find us. Isaac did a killer One More Thing a couple days ago about Nico Harrison and the vision, and I still agree with pretty much everything he said in that. But go listen to that one if you missed that one. Let's talk about Max Christie in the rest of this game, because I thought there was a couple other things that I want to get into. Max Christie, another just really solid game to start this season, and I had a lot of Max Christie stock going into the season. I thought I made a couple of big takes about him that I thought he would take a step forward. I thought he would be a starter by the end of the season, and it's looking like that's going to be the case. He was fifth in the team in minutes, played just about 27 minutes, hit 3 threes, hit a couple other shots as well, went to the free throw line twice, and hit all 4 of them. He had, he had 2 assists, 2 rebounds, he had a steal, finished with 17 points. He was running out in transition. He was defending. And I think Max Christie represents like another section of this team that I think is kind of overlooked. They have some youth in some places. Lively, Max Christie, Cooper Flagg. Like that trio right there, I think is going to matter a lot. That trio was out there during that run in the third quarter. It was like a 17-6 run. And that trio was out there running, getting out in transition, being fast, being like switchable and all that kind of stuff. And Max Christie is a guy that just puts his head down, does his work, goes in, gets better. He's gotten better. His three-point shot has been incredible to start this season, and that's the Mavericks need that so desperately. They need somebody that can space the floor in that way, that when Cooper Flagg drives the lane, he's not met with another guard because somebody else doesn't need to be guarded, right? Like Max Christie represents that. I'm curious if he ends up replacing Klay in the starting lineup. I don't know how Jason Kidd would be able to massage the ego of that, the decision of that. Maybe he doesn't have to. Maybe it doesn't matter in that starting lineup, but Max Christie, he's already playing more minutes than Klay. He played, 7 more minutes than Klay today, essentially. And he's making a bigger impact because defensively he can do more. He can chase around guys. The Mavs need somebody to chase around guys. Cooper Flagg was guarding Emmanuel Quickly today. And he's the one chasing him around. And Max Christie is a guy that I think you can bring in that can be that guy that can chase other guys around. I just think that we've seen some really good things from Max Christie. We've seen some heads-up plays. We've seen some drives from him. We've seen some pick and roll, like him running some stuff here and there. I think we've seen some really good things from Max Christie. And he's really benefiting from the attention that Anthony Davis and Flagg and some other guys have gotten. I just wanted to mention Max Christie because I thought it was definitely notable. 17 points for him. That was massive. The Mavs, I think they had how many guys in double figures? 5, 6, 7. Okay, I need to tell a story. I'm sitting here in my seats, and right above my seats are the suites. And there, in the suites above me, there was 7 or 8. I should say it. There were 6 or 7, with 13-year-olds sitting up there, and the mom or somebody was taking a photo of all of them. They all grouped together, and instead of all right, everybody say cheese, the kids go, all right, everybody say 6, 7, and they all go 6, 7. What is this meme that has just taken over all the children? If this is the thing that's gonna be the downfall of all these children, the 6, 7 meme, it's coming for them fast because these kids, instead of cheese, they said 6, 7. When have we replaced cheese? I guess 7 gets you to the smile. That cheese. The whole point of cheese is that when you say cheese, you smile. So maybe that's what it was. But I was dying when I heard them say 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 instead of cheese. Okay, I'm done. But they had 6 or 7 guys getting into double figures, and when the Mavs have that many guys getting double figures, they're 9-1. Over the course of the last couple of years or so, as I'll Mavs PR tweet that out. And you need guys like a Max Christie to be to take advantage of some of these moments, to take advantage of the attention on some of these other guys. Because PJ's getting attention now because he's had some really good games. Anthony Davis, obviously, the Mavs' size. They've got vertical gravity with Lively. Gafford will have that. Obviously, Anthony Davis does. And when you have that, other guys, other defenders will be coming off of shooters. And then all of a sudden, Max Christie's going to be open. He's got to take advantage of that, and he absolutely has. Caleb Martin played some real minutes in this game. Dante Exum's still out. Obviously, Kyrie Irving's out. Brandon Williams was out in this game. And Ryan Nembhard didn't play at all in this one, which I think is notable. I think he didn't even check in, or he checked in at the end, so I guess they did burn one of his games. Jason Kidd talked about how they didn't want to burn Ryan Nembhard's games too early because last year that hurt them because they only get 50, 54 games or something like that as a two-way guy. And they burned a lot of them at the end of the season last year, and guys couldn't play. Kessler Edwards ran out of games last season, and they don't want to have that happen again. But I guess he burned one in this one. I guess if he's active, he burns it anyway, so he might as well have. But D'Angelo Russell's playing well enough. But Caleb Martin came in, had a couple of moments, and I'm curious where he's going to be. I still feel like Kidd is in his moment of the beginning of the season of trying to figure out what this lineup is and who is actually going to play in this lineup. I think that's what the Caleb Martin minutes were for. He played about 12 minutes. He did play the 2 minutes at the end. And so he played, 10 minutes or so in the actual game with the actual lineup. And I think Kidd is still looking for who's going to play. I'm not going to read too much into Caleb Martin. He was still recovering from an injury going into this season. Looks like he's back. He had a nice dunk in this game, so it looks like he's back on his legs and all that. But I thought it was just interesting to see Caleb Martin run with the regular rotation guys. But I don't think that's saying that Kidd is going to put him in that lineup. But they could use his defense because, man, he can still lock down. And the Mavs need somebody like that. I just mentioned Max Christie could get opportunity because of his defense. But if the Mavs throw out some lineups with really good rim protection and Caleb Martin out there, they might need to have him to get some stops. That could matter later in the season. But I thought it was notable that he got about 12 minutes or so in this game. Had a few moments, had 5 fouls, but had a couple of moments in this one. If you missed the post-game show, go listen to that. We'll be back tomorrow with the Mavs versus OKC. Guys, thanks for listening to Locked on Mavs. Peace out. Boom!